Hi everyone, Dr. Suneel Dhand. Well, what is going on here? I've literally stepped inside. It's absolutely freezing outside, but I had to make this impromptu video because of the fantastic news that RFK has now been confirmed as Health and Human Services Secretary. I was actually having a horrible morning. I had a spot of bother with my car. I was getting that fixed, which is always good fun. And then I hear the news, which totally lifts up my mood completely. RFK. Who would have thought? If someone had told me 6 months ago, if someone had said, Suneel, RFK is going to be Health and Human Services Secretary of the United States, I would have said, get the heck out of here. What are you talking about? This is completely impossible. There are too many conflicts of interests which would stop him from becoming Health and Human Services Secretary. Yet here we are today. Now, it was a vote according to party lines, 52 to 48, Republicans versus Democrats. Who was the one dissenting Republican senator? Well, it was good old Mitch McConnell. But there were enough votes for RFK to get through. And those of you who have followed me for some time know how absolutely delighted I am about this news. I never thought it would happen right up until a few days ago when I realized that this is probably going to go according to party lines. A word about the Democratic Party and their shameful conduct. Now, I'm not going to make this about politics. This is me looking at things through the lens of a doctor who focuses on metabolic health, that wants to focus on root causes and not have big business rule healthcare. The sight of the Democratic Party fighting tooth and nail to stop RFK over the last few weeks, look at how much they have done to try to stop RFK. This is supposedly the party of the poor, the party of the vulnerable, the party of the sick, completely and utterly captured. It is utterly shameful and, to be quite frank, sickening to watch. I never thought that we would see the day. I mean, if somebody had told me this a couple of decades ago and said, you know, the Democratic Party would be fighting so hard against Make America Healthy Again because they are so much in the pockets of their big business, especially pharmaceutical industry sponsors. That party has become a complete joke. What happened to their founding ideals, supposedly all again about the poor and the vulnerable, the very people who are getting so sick because of our terrible toxic food environment, because of a medical industrial complex which has been allowed to run completely unchecked. I mean, Big Pharma is completely out of control. Turn on the TV in the United States and sometimes every single commercial, for those people who are unfortunate enough to have cable TV, is a Big Pharma ad. Trust me, if you're overseas, you have to see it to believe it. The state of how Big Pharma completely dominates in the United States. And of course, they make money from more adults and children getting sick. It is a disgraceful situation and once more a pathetic performance from the Democratic Party. Thankfully, they have lost this particular battle. But equally pathetic are the members of the medical industrial complex. And yes, I'm talking about lots of doctors, these top academic professors, all of these academic institutions, physician societies, licensing authorities who have fought so hard, claiming that RFK is a danger to America's health. I mean, look around you, folks. How much worse could it get with the metabolic health catastrophe that we are in? But we have all of these forces who are fighting, and make no mistake, will continue to fight so hard to keep the status quo. Our system is a complete joke for any doctor who truly wants to stay true to the principles of Hippocrates, good ethical medicine, and focusing on root causes. So what happens now then? Well, RFK, of course, he has promised many things, and we must keep our eyes open. We must be wise to the ways of the world. I'm the first person to say that even though I'm thrilled, I'm under no illusions. We all know that politicians have a habit of breaking promises. We must completely hold our politicians accountable, and we must make sure if RFK actually wants to succeed, that he has the tools to do so, that his hands will not be tied by all of these big business interests that want to keep America sick. So whether we're talking about the metabolic health catastrophe in adults and children, I mean, look around you. This is not rocket science. Go to a mall, go to a Target, go to a Walmart. Look around you at what's happened to adults and children. Absolutely soaring rates of obesity off the charts would have been unthinkable a few decades ago. And coinciding with that, obviously, people are walking around inflamed if they're so sick, if they're overweight, if they have excess body fat. They also have vastly increased risk of illnesses like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, other inflammatory diseases, even cancer. I heard one statistic that we're approaching almost 50% of adolescents now with pre-diabetes. I mean, what is going on? But for the first time in a long time, we had somebody like RFK who actually talks about these things. And to watch members of my own profession fight so hard, RFK at the top, makes me ashamed, quite frankly, to be a member of the medical profession. It really does. How can doctors be so blind to what's happened and how we really need to focus on root causes, how we need to hold Big Pharma and Big Food accountable for this system, which has a perverse incentive to get more and more people sick. And even away from the metabolic health catastrophe, let's think about our entire system in the United States. How many people go bankrupt every year with ridiculous costs? How many people go to a hospital and have a negative experience of healthcare despite having good insurance? How many people find it impossible to navigate the maze of insurance, which is deliberately made very complicated? How many millions of people can't even find a primary care doctor for basic follow-up? Make no mistake, we need people like RFK who can truly shake up the system. We are well past the point of people who will gently prod, who will skate around issues, who will be careful about the language they use in case they offend people. We need people who are revolutionaries. And my hope is that RFK will be able to follow through on his promises, that he will be given the resources to do this, and we will not let all of these competing interests who have a conflict there to make more Americans sick. We must not let them block RFK's agenda. So yes, I am absolutely thrilled. I think America finally does have a chance to become healthy again, make America healthy again, but also shake up the swamp of healthcare, which has been infested at every level by the wrong leaders. We simply cannot continue down this path because it is about the future of the country. If we have so many sick people, the country is not going to succeed. It's as simple as that. So to all of those people who think RFK is a danger to health, that he represents a huge threat. I mean, it was ridiculous last week watching those Democrat senators question RFK, making out that he is a terrible danger. They talked about the shots. Of course, they were obsessed with injections. They talked about how the pharmaceutical industry might be affected. Yes, some senators actually did that. They seemed more concerned about pharmaceutical industry profits and their bottom line. But they barely said a word, at least as far as Democrats are concerned, about these soaring rates of illness, the metabolic health catastrophe. Barely mentioned the word obesity, barely mentioned the terms type 2 diabetes, heart disease, inflammation, cancer, all of these illnesses which are through the roof. And we must not let the forces of big business and also those politicians who are completely captured by big business, we must not let them succeed. So go RFK, today is a good day, unthinkable a few months ago. Make America healthy again the right way by focusing on root causes and getting all of the conflicts of interest out of the way, because this is about your health, this is about your family's health, and it's about the future of the country. For America to succeed, it has to be a healthy country. No ands, ifs, or buts. Thanks everyone for watching. I had to make that video. Now I will go and take my hat and my coat off. Take care everyone. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Do check out the links in the description down below for the other work I do. If you like this video, do hit the like button, the subscribe button, and share it with whoever else may be interested. We will speak again very soon.